Hello everyone, welcome to our channel Success Edutech. Today we are discussing our fourth history chapters question and answer. Now I am starting my session. Everyone is knowing this chapter's name, Forest Society and Colonism. Now I am starting my session. First question: discuss how the changes in forest management in the colonial period affected the following groups of people. The first point we are watching here: shifting cultivators. Second point: nomadic and pastoralist communities. And the third, farms trading in timber oblique forest produce. Fourth, plantation owners. And fifth, kings oblique British official engaged in shikar hunting, it's called. Now we will watch step by step, one by one solution. First we will watch shifting cultivators. Okay, first we will watch shifting cultivators. European consist regarding shifting cultivation harmful to the existence of forests. Also, it stood in their way of commercial timber forestry. There was always a chance of fire spreading out of control and burning down all the precious timber. Thus, keeping these factors in mind, the colonial government banned the shifting cultivation. Many of these cultivators lost their livelihood in the process. The most were also displaced from their homes in the forest. Now we have watched the shifting cultivators. Now we'll watch nomadic and pastoralist communities. Nomadic and pastoralist communities like the Koraba, Karacha and Urukula from the Madras presidency lost their livelihoods. They were designated as criminal tribes by the British authorities and were forced to work in factories, mines and plantations under government supervision. Now we'll watch the third point: firms trading in timber forest produces. The British gave European timber trading firms the sole right to the trade in forest products in particular areas. Grazing and hunting by the local population were restricted by law. Now we'll watch plantation owner. Vast tracts of natural forest were cleared to make way of tea, coffee and rubber plantations in order to fulfill the demand for these commodities in Europe. Plantation owners who were overwhelmingly European were given land at a cheap rate. They were enclosed and cleared of forests and plated with tea or coffee. Now we will watch kings British officials engaged in shikar, or it's called hunting. The forest laws deprived forest dwellers their means of livelihood. Before the enactment of these laws, the forest dwellers practiced hunting as a means to sustain themselves. After their enactment, they were forbidden from hunting. Hunting instead became a sport where hunted big game in huge numbers, bringing some of them to the very brink of extinction. Now the second question we will watch: What are the similarities between colonial management of the forest in Bastar and Java? So, we will start this question answer. Solution: forest management of the Bastar in India was under the control of British, while in Java it was under Dutch management. Just like the British, the Dutch required timber to make sleepers for railway tracks. The British and Dutch colonial authorities enacted their own version of the forest laws that gave them total control over the forest and depriving the customary rights of the forest dwellers. Both the Dutch and the British put ban on shifting cultivation on the grounds that they were dangerous to the existence of forests. The villagers of Bastar were allowed to stay in the forest on the condition that they provide free labor to the forest department, while in Java, the Dutch exempted those villages from paying taxes when they provided free labor to the forest department. Now we will watch the third question. Between 1880 and 1920, forest cover in the Indian subcontinent declined by 9.7 million hectares from 108.6 million hectares to 98.9 million hectares. Discuss the role of the following factors in the decline. First factor, railways. And now we will watch railways. First point. Railways were an important asset that was essential in the maintaining trade through the transport of goods and the domination of the colonies through the transport of troops was needed to lie the sleepers for railway tracks. The sleepers are what held the tracks from breaking apart for 1 kilometer of railway track anywhere between 1760 and 2000 sleepers were required. Thus, vast tracts of forest were cut down to provide the materials for the railways. Now we will watch shipbuilding, the second point, B point. Before the coming of the Industrial Revolution, the ships of the early 19th century were made of wood. Britain maintained its colonial positions through the Royal Navy with its huge number of naval fleets, but in order to maintain them, vast tracts of oak forests in England were cut down. This caused a logistical problem for the Royal Navy, as a regular supply of timber was required to build new ships and maintain the old ones. It was easily remedied by cutting down forests of its colonies. Huge acres of forest disappeared as a result, with some areas seeing almost complete deforestation as a result. C point, we will watch agriculture expansion. As the population rose, so did the demand for food. Forest lands were cleared in order to make way for new cultural tracts. The colonial authorities believed that they can produce more food if they clear the forest. In addition, forests were considered unproductive to begin with, so they had little columns in cutting them down in huge numbers. Agricultural land rose by 6.7 million hectares between 1880 and 1920. It can be safely said that agricultural expansion contributed the most towards deforestation. Now we'll watch the tea coffee plantation. Next point, this is the next point. Tea coffee plantations. Forests are diverse not just in fauna but also flora. So when they were cleared to make way for commercial farming, many species of trees were lost in the process, as the commercial farming only uses of one specific type of trees, and the commercial farming depending on the types of plantation it was. And now we'll watch tea coffee plantation. Next point. In order to meet the growing demand for tea and coffee, colonial authorities sold huge hectares of forest land to mostly European plantation farms. These farms then cut down the forest to make way to tea and coffee plantation. As a result, many acres of forest were lost. And we will watch the last point. Adivasis and the other peasants users. This point we will watch. Adivasis and other peasants communities practiced shifting cultivation. It involved cutting down parts of forest area are cut and burning the tree roots. Seeds were then sown into the burnt patch, and come to the monsoon season they were harvested. When fertility declined in that particular area, the same practice was repeated in a different location. So along with the losing some of the other forest acts, there were fewer chances of the trees growing back due to the loss of soil fertility. Now we will watch fourth question. Why are forests affected by wars? This is the question, and we will watch this last question answer. Forests are affected by wars as they are valuable strategic resources. Battlefield assets like towers, guard posts, army camps are made of wood, as they can be easily maintained and can be easily pulled down should the need to shift these assets arise. More so, the scorched earth policy are enacted should it become apparent that forest will fall under enemy hands. This is done with regards to area and resource denial. Such was the case with the Dutch when the Japanese invaded their colony in Indonesia. During World War II, the Dutch burned huge acres of forest in order to prevent them from falling into Japanese hands. When they did, however, the Japanese set about recklessly exploiting the timber forest to fulfill their own war demands. This practice would severely impact the local ecology in negative way for decades to come. So today I have completed my question and answers hour, and I am Prashant Jadhav ending my lecture. Namaskar.